This is a big one. Tempers flare as history is made in Huntington Park, California, appointing 2 illegal immigrants to serve on the city council.
The United States of America. I live in Huntington Park.
Valerie, I'm not out of order. You are out of order.
But despite numerous protests, Frank Medina and Julian Zatarain still got the job. Is this even legal? Chris Kobach is the Secretary of State in Kansas and an architect of Arizona's tough immigration law. How is this possible?
Well, it's not possible under the law. One of the councilmen, the person I believe who appointed these 2 illegal aliens to the commissions, he claims as long as we're not paying them, it's legal. That's actually not true. Under federal law, it is a crime to encourage or induce an illegal alien to remain in the United States. And that's exactly what the city council members are doing. They're giving them a position of honor and saying, please stay in Huntington Park and attend the meetings, and we want you to remain here. So they're encouraging and inducing them to remain. That's a crime under federal law, but I guess they didn't bother to check the law, did they?
But what? So is anybody going to do anything about this? How about someone investigating it or someone bringing a case or a charge?
Well, it's a federal crime, so under normal circumstances, you'd expect the U.S. Department of Justice to initiate an investigation, but under this administration, they are not serious about enforcing immigration laws, so I'm not holding my breath that the federal government's going to come in and try to enforce federal law here.
Yeah,
but
almost
they
like
should.
Sanctuary appointments, city council appointments. So let's take a listen here to this. This is the mayor, Karina Macias of Huntington Park, and this is how she's justifying it. If we're going to talk about transparency, being open and having a community that's involved, then the conversation also has to include undocumented immigrants. Chris, your reaction?
Well, sure, you can talk about illegal aliens, which is the proper federal term for them, and you can talk about what the city's policy may be, but they're not members of the political community. Indeed, by law, they are required to leave the community. So to make the argument that they should take a leadership position in the community doesn't even make sense. And I think this is an extension of a problem we've been seeing in some parts of the country. In Kansas, for example, we do the opposite. We are one of 4 states that requires you prove your U.S. citizenship before you're allowed to vote. In California, they're at the opposite end of the spectrum. They're not requiring proof of citizenship. And now we have a city like this one giving a leadership position in the city to someone who's not even entitled by law to be here. It just doesn't make any sense. How can they possibly be people whose voices need to be heard in city policy when federal law says they need to return to their home countries?
You're absolutely right. And plenty of people looking out there for jobs and want to serve their community as well.
Absolutely. And that's a good point, because those commission positions are often ones that people really want to be on.
They're coveted.
Well, and, you know, it's a parks commission. That's a very important position for a city. And they're giving it to someone who's not even legally in the United States.
Well, you can get more on this story on FoxNews.com. It's one of our top stories today. Chris Kobach, thank you for being with us.
My pleasure. And
coming up, terrifying moments when a little boy at home alone hears strangers in his house.
Where are you at? Do you hear them in the house?
So what happened when they found out